Big show lined up today. We got a lot to get into, but we have to start the Travelers Championship because Scottie Scheffler just put on an absolute clinic. A 60 today. Not a 70, not 66, a 60. He's now sitting 16 under. The question heading into the weekend is simple. Is this tournament already over? We'll break down whether anybody can realistically catch Scottie, look at the updated betting board, get into some MLB news, give out today's best bets for the MLB slate, got a Tommy trend, Bark Bets Clown of the Week, and then we'll wrap everything up. We'll go off the rails. Let's get right to it. Welcome in. This is Off the Hook, sports talk that pays off, powered by Pikkit. Track your crew, your bets, the live movements, all in one place. With Pikkit, I'm Tommy Trends, hanging here with you on a feel-good Friday evening. Some of these MLB games are about to tee it off here. We are officially back at it after almost like a 2-week break on vacation. So if you missed us, we're back, we're recharged, ready to go, and apparently the sports world decided to save all the chaos for when we came back and while we were away. But today, all eyes are on Connecticut because Scottie Scheffler is doing what Scottie Scheffler does. The world number one fires a 10 under, 60. Flirted with a 59. Missed the birdie putt on 18. And he heads into the weekend looking like he's playing a completely different golf course than everybody else. Now, the question is whether... we all know Scottie is the best player in the world, but we already know that. The question is whether this tournament is already over before moving day even starts. So we'll dive into the leaderboard, the betting board, and whether Victor Hovland, Eric Cole, Akshay Bhatia, or anybody else realistically has a shot to run him down. And then we'll shift over to Major League Baseball, where the dumpster fire that is the New York Mets finally fired Carlos Mendoza. And we'll look at the games on our radar tonight, some interesting betting trends, and a few teams starting to show who they really are as we get closer to the All-Star break in Philadelphia, which, by the way, we're in the Philadelphia area region and don't hear shit about the MLB All-Star game in Philadelphia. What a shit job by the Philadelphia media. I think I saw one commercial. Can we do a better fucking job promoting the MLB All-Star Game right here in Philadelphia? All I talk about is fucking soccer and other nonsense shit on the news. How about the MLB All-Star Game? Get a little publicity. Philadelphia media, you guys got to do a better fucking job. Probably once all this soccer shit is over, they'll start talking about it like a day before the All-Star Game starts. But Philadelphia media, you guys got to do a better fucking job. But we'll try to do our best to keep you up to date with the MLB All-Star Game in our backyard in Philadelphia. And then we'll also give you the Tommy trend or trends of the day. We'll go to Bark Bets, which is always brought to you by Freedom First Rescue, where we feature a pup up for adoption from Freedom First Rescue. We'll get you the Clown of the Week. That's a fucking doozy. Absolute train wreck this week. And then we'll wrap things up by going off the rails. So settle in, hit the like button, and if you're new, join us. We're here like 5 days a week now. Started as a 1 day a week thing, and we'll do like 5 days a week. So we'll start with the Travelers Championship tonight. And like I said, Scheffler putting on an absolute clinic up there at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut. And Scheffler, once again, reminding everybody why he's the best player on the planet. Fires off a 60 today. Like I said, flirted with a 59. Missed that birdie putt on 18. So he's now 16 under heading into the weekend. Now, if you remember from our Tee to Green show on Wednesday, we said Vegas had the winning score set at like 20.5 under. And then I said, that's right, but I think it could get a little higher. I think we might be seeing like 22, 25 under maybe. So we'll see. But Scheffler already 16 under. And honestly, the scary part of this whole thing, this wasn't one of the random hot rounds from a guy who made everything and got lucky. I mean, this looked like typical Scottie Scheffler. Fairways, greens, stress-free golf. The guy just slowly squeezes the life out of the tournament. And what's amazing is that this is becoming the norm for Scheffler. Now, Scheffler this year, one of the biggest criticism was his slow starts and, starting slow, but then come Saturday on moving day and then Sunday, Scheffler would be right in the mix with everybody. But a few years ago, if somebody would have shot 60, we'd be talking about it for weeks. Scottie does it, and the reaction is basically, sounds about right. So that's where we're at with Scheffler. Like I said, on 18, missed the birdie putt. Could have had a 59. Could have even potentially had a 58. So that would not be the first time, though, in his career he had a 59. It would have been the second time in his career that Scheffler had a 59. It was a 26-foot birdie putt, and that would have put him alongside Jim Furyk as the only players on the PGA Tour in history with multiple sub-60 rounds. So the putt slid by on the high side, and Scheffler had to settle for 10 under at a 60. Imagine saying you had to settle for a 60. That's just crazy. It's just crazy thinking about that. He settled for a 60. And he even joked in his post-round press conference that if he made it, it wouldn't even been the course record, because we said Jim Furyk shot a 58 there at the Travelers back in 2016. And that's really the mentality of the world number one golfer. Everybody else trying to make history. Scottie's comparing himself to the guy who shot 58. So let's put the round that Scheffler had into perspective. It wasn't a random hot streak, like we said. He opened with a 64 yesterday. He comes back, fires off a 60 today. So 124 shots through 2 rounds, 16 under par. And like I said, does it the way Scheffler does it. Fairways, greens, pressure, repeat, right? 2 separate stretches where he made 4 birdies in a row. 4 straight birdies on the front, 4 straight birdies on the back. And at one point, it looked like every hole was a birdie opportunity for Scheffler. And the scary part is the course wasn't giving away birdies for free to everybody, right? Yes, we had soft course condition. There was rain this morning. There was rain earlier, Monday, Tuesday, right? And they had rain this morning. Tee times delayed 30 minutes. Preferred lies were in effect. Scoring was definitely available. Now, the average score, I believe, is where it fit. Now, this is like within the last hour of the tournament play for today. But the average score at that point in time was around a 67.2. So good scoring conditions. But not everybody is shooting a 60. In fact, some of the holes were still showing their teeth and biting back. We talked about the Bermuda Triangle at 15, 16, 17. We also said 18 can cause some chaos. So you got the Bermuda Triangle on 15, 16, 17, and then also 18. So those last 4 holes in that stretch is really where the tournament is won or lost, right? 17 and 18 have played today as the 2 toughest holes on the course, and 18 actually played as the hardest hole on the course today. Now, 4 bogeys, 1 double bogey, and then you got Scheffler standing on 18 with a birdie putt for a 59. That's the difference between Scheffler and everybody else right now. So again, it's like we said, the question becomes now, can anybody catch Scheffler? Hovland gave it a hell of a run. He shoots 61. And at one point himself, he was flirting with a 59. He needed birdies on 17 and 18. Couldn't get either one. Settles for a 61. Now, if this was any other week, a 61 would be owning the golf headlines at this point. Today it feels like an afterthought because Scheffler's at a 60, right? And then you had Akshay Bhatia throws up a 62. One of our picks as a long shot for the outright winner, Eric Cole. He hung around after leading round 1. And you have quality players on the board. The problem is they're chasing Scottie Scheffler. That's the problem. And history tells us that's not a great place to be. When Scottie gets into this position, he doesn't beat himself very often, especially at this course. Scheffler's historically done well on Pete Dye courses. It would have to be a complete collapse for Scheffler to give this one away. It could happen, but this would be a monumental collapse if Scheffler gives this one away this weekend. So if you're chasing Scheffler, you probably need two things to happen. You need a really low round yourself. Like you got to be low 60s, maybe 63 or 64 at best. So, you got to come out and start firing. And then second, it's like we said, you need to actually have a monumental collapse by Scheffler to move toward the back. And that's not something we've seen very often. We've seen him start slow this season, and that's been, the talk all year on tour is a slow start with Scheffler. And what's wrong? Why is he starting slow? But then that talk goes away by Saturday when he's making a charge, and then again on Sunday when he's right there. So let's take a look here. Look at the rundown here. So we said Scheffler is 16 under. He's your leader. Hovland is there in second. He's 14 under. And then you got Akshay Bhatia at 12 under. Eric Cole, who was our long shot pick as an outright winner, he is at 12 under. Bud Colley's 10 under. And then Ben Griffin's 10 under. Matt Fitzpatrick's 10 under. You got Campbell sitting at 9 under, JJ Spawn at 9 under, Justin Rose at 9 under, Tommy Fleetwood 9 under. Remember last year, Tommy Fleetwood was your leader through 54 holes, and he had an epic meltdown, and he gave it away to Keegan Bradley. And if you ask, where's Keegan Bradley? Well, he's 8 under, and he's, not playing his best, but 8 under. He's 8 strokes back. Is Scheffler, is it gettable? Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like looking at this, you got Burns at 8 under, Wyndham Clark at 8 under, Bobby McIntyre, he's at 8 under. I feel looking at this, realistically, 9 under has a realistic shot at catching Scheffler. I mean, at 9 under, you're still 7 strokes back. 8. I mean, these guys at 8 under, like, Kitayama, Harris English, Keegan Bradley, Sam Burns, Wyndham Clark, Bobby Mack. And these guys who are sitting there at 8 under, I mean, they got to come out and shoot low 60s the next 2 days. And then they have to hope that Scheffler just completely melts down. 8 strokes is a lot to gain. It's a big mountain to climb when you're chasing Scheffler. But realistically, anybody, even if you're chasing Hovland or Bhatia or Cole, 8 strokes is a lot to make up, especially when the conditions are favorable for scoring. And we'll get into the weather and how that's going to play. But I mean, you never know. You got to play the next 2 rounds, and something could happen where Scheffler does have a meltdown. It's possible, but again, historically, Scheffler's played well here, and you don't see that typically from him here. So a lot of groundwork for some of these guys. A lot of ground for some of these guys to make up. But if I had to guess, your winner is going to come with, it's going to be Scheffler, Hovland, Bhatia, Cole, Colley, Griffin, Fitzpatrick, and maybe, like I said, maybe getting some of these guys that are 9 under. But I just, Scheffler's, Hovland's playing really well. He moved up 6 spots today, and Akshay Bhatia played well today. He moved up 11 spots. Eric Cole had some rough spots on the back. He dropped 2 spots today. He was your outright leader after round 1 yesterday, but still in the mix at 12 under. So our card is still alive with Cole there, tied for 3rd. So again, from a betting perspective, as we move into the weekend, move into a moving day tomorrow, the outright market gets really interesting. I mean, if you're holding a Scheffler ticket, you're sitting pretty. Again, nothing's guaranteed, only death and taxes. So they got to finish out the last 2 rounds. But if I had a Scheffler ticket, I'd feel pretty good about myself. If you don't have a Scheffler ticket like myself, you're looking elsewhere. Top 5, top 10, maybe matchups, maybe round 3 matchups, maybe score for the round. something like that. Maybe even someone to make a Sunday charge. But asking somebody to erase multiple shots over 36 holes against the world number one player, it's a difficult bet to make. But so, as you know, we talk about top 5, top 10. As far as some plus money here, Akshay Bhatia for top 5 is at plus money at plus 172. Eric Cole plus 198. Matty Fitzpatrick plus 205. And all these I'm getting right on the Pikkit app. And by the way, if you're not using Pikkit, what are you doing? Come on, download the Pikkit app and put in code OTH when you set it up and sync your book. All the lines right at your fingertips. You sync all your books, and it gives you all the lines and tells you, as I'm looking at the top 5, all the books that I have synced, it's giving me the best number, so I don't have to open up all these apps. Pikkit puts everything right in one place for you, so makes it a hell of a lot easier when you're doing live betting using Pikkit, and track everything there and track us and follow us. So, but again, Tommy Fleetwood plus 285 for a top 5. Patrick Cantlay plus 380. Ben Griffin on a plus 380 on FanDuel. Sam Burns plus 520. These are all for top 5. Now, if we get into the top 10 numbers, as far as plus money, now you're getting almost even money with Tommy Fleetwood at the top 10. It's minus 104. And then the plus money starts with Ben Griffin, plus 125 on FanDuel. Cantlay at plus 125 on DraftKings. JG Spawn plus 160. Sam Burns plus 172. The prediction market, Justin Rose on Novig, he's plus 223. Maverick McNeely plus 185. Wyndham Clark plus 230. These are all for top 10. These are, it's like we were saying, an outright winner at this point with Scheffler in the lead. It's hard to say Scheffler is going to fall. So we're looking top 5, top 10, maybe even top 20 is the angle we're looking at this weekend, because we were not holding a Scheffler ticket. He was 4.5 to 1 when this tournament opened. But let us say Wyndham Clark plus 230 on FanDuel, Kurt Kitayama plus 250, Keegan Bradley at plus 300. These are all for top 10. Take a quick peek at some top 20 numbers. If you're looking, top 20, Bobby Mack on the prediction market on Novig is at plus 102, Aaron Rye plus 116, Justin Thomas plus 135, Shane Lowry at plus 145. That's something maybe you say a top 20, because Lowry right now, he moved up 10 spots today. He's 7 under, is tied for 22nd. Aaron Rye is also 7 under, tied for 22nd. He dropped 14 spots today. Bad day for Rye. He shot a 68 after firing off a 65 in the first round. I mean, it's still 68. It's good, but when you got Scheffler firing off a 64 and a 60, it's not going to get it done. Justin Thomas did move up 5 spots today. He was the pick that we had for outright winner. That's pretty much cooked. He shot a 68 in round 1, 66 today. He's tied for 27th. So, you're getting plus money for JT on FanDuel, plus 135 to do a top 20. Maybe you parlay some of these guys together. But that's kind of what we're thinking, from a betting market perspective as we move into moving day for round 3 tomorrow. And we talked about weather. As far as tomorrow's forecast, some showers, mostly cloudy conditions. And intermittent rain throughout the day, light winds, mid to upper 70s. I feel like fucking Hurricane Schwartz here giving a fucking weather forecast. But it does mean a lot when you're talking about golf, because we said the course conditions were soft and it rained on a week. But and we said today would probably be the worst of it as far as wind would go, because sometimes you get crazy wind there. But it looks like that's going to hold off with the light, calm winds tomorrow. And then you look into Sunday. Sunday's the better of the 2 days. Low 80s, barely no wind, mostly sunny and pleasant. There's your fucking forecast for Cromwell, Connecticut. So again, weather does make a difference here. And if you are going, to the tournament, make sure you just check the PGA app or the PGA website if because the tee times were delayed about 30 minutes today. due to rain. So, like I said, just look at the PGA app or website if you're headed there to the event in case, because there is intermittent rain tomorrow. So, but again, we said the story going into moving day, moving into the weekend is the tournament isn't officially over at the Travelers, but Scheffler just fired off a 60. He flirted with a 59, sitting 16 under, and the question right now isn't whether he can win. It's just, can anybody make this fucking thing interesting and catch him? So we'll see what happens there up there in Cromwell, Connecticut, at TPC River Highlands. And speaking of making things interesting, jump over to Major League Baseball because one franchise decided they're going to make things interesting here. And the New York Mets, the dumpster fire that is the New York Mets, finally fucking decided to fire Carlos Mendoza today. But yet they keep GM David Stearns. What the fuck? Now, Mendoza was the problem, but Stearns is also the problem. I mean, this Mets team, yeah, I don't mind banging on the Mets. I think the franchise is a joke. It's just, they're an awful franchise. I do feel bad if you're a Mets fan, kind of, because you can choose to opt out of that fandom, because that franchise is just pathetic. But if you look at it with the high expectations that the Mets have, we're just going to run down. It's probably the most we're talking about the fucking Mets, but this is like a historic thing, what the Mets have gone through. I mean, shit, didn't they have like 6 errors the other day in a game? So, you know, high expectations, expected to compete, yet they're sitting below 500 despite a $370 million payroll. That's tops in Major League Baseball. You know, and then you got the whole construction issue over there at Citi Field. So parking is an issue with the ongoing construction. They're charging people $50 and up to park to go watch that fucking putrid display that they put on the field every day. So you're screwing the fans there. You know, and then you get Bo Bichette, who's been a complete bust. Jorge Polanco, he struggled, injuries, and then Freddie Peralta, he's trash. Lindor missed time. Juan Soto is just a head case and a cancer. Lindor, the situation with Lindor and Soto, we brought this up yesterday, and it's interesting. These two have not been on the field at the same time. Go back and check it. Soto now, apparently, I don't know, was he a back tightness or I don't know. It was some other injury. He's now not playing because Lindor came back. These two apparently hate each other. Can't be on the field at the same time. They're just a complete mess, complete train wreck of an organization, the New York Mets. Should have fired Mendoza a long time ago, but finally decided to do it now. And you still keep your GM. And I listened to a little bit of that press conference today, and it was kind of interesting. The nice thing about being in the tri-state area here outside of Philadelphia and close to New York, you can turn on, you know, when Eagles fans want to jump off the fucking Ben Franklin Bridge, and Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets fans want to jump off the fucking Verrazano, you put on WFAN or WIP and listen to people just lose their fucking mind, and it's great radio. I mean, it's hysterical to listen to. So the press conference from Stearns was so-so. I didn't really answer anything. You know, I don't know if you're the owner of the Mets, what the fuck are you doing keeping the GM? Just clean house at this point. I mean, they're 34-47. They're last in the NL East. 13 out of 15 teams in the National League. Only Giants and Rockies are worse. You know, you built this team around Soto and Lindor. That was your first mistake. Now, the Bo Bichette signing, I thought that was a good move. We probably paid him a little too much, but again, that's kind of what the market dictated. It's the same thing the Dodgers paid Kyle Tucker way too much fucking money, but there was nobody else in the market, so the market dictated that price, and these guys got paid. It happens all the time. And this wasn't just a rough patch for the Mets. This was, I mean, from the start, this team was a disaster. They started 9-28, 12-game losing streak, and this is the last 6-game skid. This latest 6-game skid finally is what cooked Mendoza here. And here's what, this is only the Mets do this shit, right? This is the Mets being the Mets here. This is the wild part of this press conference. Stearns came out. So Andy Green is only the interim manager. He was, I don't know his title. He's some front office position. So the Mets, in typical Mets fashion, named Andy Green the interim manager. And Stearns was adamant that Green will go back to the front office after the season and the Mets will launch a full-on search for a new manager. So it isn't even like a new voice, new era kind of thing with the Mets. It's like, hey, you're just going to sit here in the chair until October and then go back up to your ivory tower in the front office and do, I think it was like player personnel, whatever his fucking title was. Whatever. So in typical Mets fashion, that's what they do. And it's just, what a complete mess. Who they get, I have no idea, nor do I really care. But, you know, and then you look at what do they got on tap? The Phillies come into town tonight. Now, the Phillies are 36-17 since firing Thompson and bringing on Mattingly. And Mattingly, of course, was the bench coach, and they just promoted him when they fired Rob Thompson. You know, then you got the Phillies coming in to play the Mets at Citi Field tonight. The Mets finally get Lindor back. And like I said, Soto went out with back tightness. What a coincidence. Marcus Semien, another failure. You know, but then you got the Phillies coming in here tonight. And, you know, the line right there for the Phillies is right around minus 165. Wheeler pitching. You know, the Mets, I guess, apparently are going with Zach Thornton. He's got an almost an 8.5 ERA. This team is fucking pathetic. You know, the Phillies took 3 or 4 from Washington. Mets just get swept by the Cubs. And this line opened around minus 155 for the Phillies, and then now it's up to like, let me see here. I think it was like 165 when it closed. So, yeah, again, and I said this yesterday, maybe you should just bet the Mets, bet against the Mets for the rest of the season, and I'd probably come out looking pretty good. I might just do that, actually. Looking at Wheeler, he's 7-1. He's been excellent. Just a tick over 2 ERA. 1.82 ERA in June. Phillies are 9-2 when Wheeler starts. Mets are 8-19 as an underdog. Worst dog record in baseball. Everything's the worst for the fucking Mets. Oh, God. You know, so if you took the Phillies tonight, good on you. You know, and also the plus money was also on the Phillies run line. That's also in play, too. But, yeah, the only thing I'm betting on is betting against the Mets the rest of the season. I think every fucking day I'm just going to put a little pizza money against the Mets, whatever it is. Wherever the plus money is. The plus money is on the money line or the run line. I'm just going to do it because they're fucking absolutely putrid. So a lot of things to be concerned about if you're a Mets fan. Not looking good. Your season's cooked. So... Phillies will probably blow them out tonight, and you know, we'll see. A couple other games to note here as we roll through the MLB slate. Diamondbacks at Tampa. That line was around minus 135. Tampa is the home favorite there. It did open lower at minus 125. Kicked up a bit. Some money came in on Tampa late, moved it to 135. So, you know, look at the matchup, the pitching matchup. Zach Gallen's completely awful. 6.10 ERA, almost 9 ERA in June. Just a tick under 7 ERA on the road. Fucking almost 7.5 earned run average in night games. And then you got on the flip side of that, Nick Martinez on the mound for Tampa. Rays are 11-4 in his starts. Tampa's also 28-12 at home, best home record in baseball. So Rays money line was also the play there. Another one to look at: Royals White Sox. I'm talking fucking White Sox here. Chicago was 41-38, 26-13 at home. Second best home record in baseball. Who would have thought that with the White Sox? Kansas City 15-26 on the road. White Sox have the rest advantage coming into tonight. Off yesterday. They're at home, sleeping in their home bed, and Kansas City played Tampa, had to travel. They got fucking rocked yesterday. It was like 13-2. So that line again moved the White Sox heavy juice. The White Sox favor started at 125 and it ended at around minus 135. It's not pretty, not sexy, but the spot there is the White Sox. Who would have thought? Looking at some of the ballpark environment factors as you look at tonight. Again, top hitting spot is Fenway with the Yankees Red Sox. Now the Yankees fucked us on the Pikkit play of the day yesterday. We're up 2-0, then shit the bed in a perfect spot, and we said it yesterday. And again, that was a spot to take the Yankees run line there with plus money, which is what we did. Just the awful travel conditions. The Red Sox got stuck in Denver, and just the Red Sox are just awful at home. Worst home record in baseball. So it was a good spot for the Yankees, and I said if that doesn't cash, I could, I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. I still like to get a win, but Yankees fucked us yesterday. But again, the top hitting spot for tonight's games would be Fenway Park. Runs are up 17%, homers up 8%, and doubles and triples up 25% there. The second best option to see some offense from a ballpark environment tonight would be Nationals-Orioles. Camden Yards runs up 13%, homers up 5%, extra base hits up 12%, and then third would be the Sacramento/Oakland/Las Vegas A's in Anaheim to face the Angels tonight. Runs up 6%, homers up 9%. So if you're looking at props, team totals, or overs, those are the parks that I would circle on the betting board if you like prop bets. A couple props if you're interested. Riley Green over 1.5 total bases at plus money. He gets Spencer Arrighetti, who's basically fallen apart in June. ERA near 7. Green also has 3 homers and 5 career bats against him. Nationals first 5, team total over 2.5. Washington has crushed left-handed pitching, and now they get another lefty in Trevor Rogers tonight on the bump. Guardians money line. Indians money line against Seattle. I don't know those woke fucking names on this program here. Indians money line against Seattle. Luis Castillo has been a mess. Mariners offense has been weak on the road. Seattle just a big disappointment this year. And then maybe another homer sprinkle. Jake Bauers for the Brewers. Colin Ray has been brutal on the road. Got hit hard by lefties, and Bauers has most of his power against right-handed pitching. So a couple things, like I said, the watch night. Phillies money line or run line. Rays money line. White Sox money line. Riley Green total bases. Nationals first 5 team total. Cleveland Indians money line. Cardinals possibly first 5. I might have something to say about that. The first 5 is interesting with the Cardinals, but that might actually be where the real value is, and we'll get to that later. And Jake Bauers home run sprinkle. But a couple other quick notes before we close this. Harper last night, a perfect villain moment last night for Bryce Harper against his former team, the Nationals. So Nationals fans were all on his shit all night, all game long, and of course not family-friendly stuff there at Nationals Park. But Harper then answered with a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 9th, and the Phillies come back down 5-0. And then as he's rounding the bases, he gives them the ring finger. Now, what's funny about that is Harper doesn't have a World Series ring, and Washington actually won the World Series a year after he left. So the ring finger thing is a little confusing when you see that. And the bigger point here is it's been almost a decade since Harper left Washington. I mean, at some point, Washington Nationals fans, you got to let that shit go. And even Harper, who cares? Dude, you haven't played there in like 10 years. But, if you chant the guy all night and he hits a dagger in the 9th, you kind of earned the celebration. But the whole ring finger thing, I don't get it, but that's grade A baseball theater. And a second note before we close out the MLB and get to the Tommy trend of the day. This is a little bigger picture for Major League Baseball as things are starting to come out now about possible lockout, strike, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But MLB and the Players Association are already firing shots at one another against the next collective bargaining agreement here. The owners are pushing the salary cap and salary floor conversation pretty hard, selling it as hope and competitive balance. Unbelievable. But here's where the pushback becomes pretty obvious, right? Is this really about fixing baseball, or is it about the owners controlling payroll? Because if you look around the league, the competitive balance argument gets messy fast, right? So we talked about teams like the Mets. Mets have the highest payroll in baseball, and yet they suck. Red Sox suck. Angels suck. Giants suck. Right? These are huge market teams. Rangers, Astros, all these teams, these huge market teams are underperforming. Right? And then meanwhile, you get smaller market teams, the Brewers, Cleveland Indians, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Padres, not so much the Mariners, but I guess you could put them in that mix. The Pirates, for now, and the Miami Marlins. They're either competitive or they're right there in the mix. Now, typically Pittsburgh falls off, but this year they're kind of still right there. Not going to do anything, but they're still competitive. And if Skeens was having a better year, if he gets some more run support, they'd probably be doing a little bit better. But so the idea that spending alone decides everything is just ludicrous. It's just stupid. And I'm so sick as a Dodgers fan of hearing, and the Dodgers are ruining baseball because they spend money. No, the real issue isn't that the Dodgers spend the money. The issue is that some owners don't, and then they like to blame look, baseball, it's just any sport. Baseball, basketball, football, whatever you want to call it. Any sport, it's a business. If you're paying billions of dollars for a franchise, you want to win. That's the ultimate goal, right? And if you got the kind of fuck you money to throw around and pay players and defer contracts and do whatever you're doing, that's a business. You're in it to make money, right? It's always, they're spending too much money. For a while, the Yankees were the evil empire, right? That kind of tailed off because now the Dodgers took over that spot because they say they're buying championships. No, they have the money to spend. And if I'm a player, I'm going to cash in. Well, I can cash in. I'm going to take the bag. I'm going to go who's offering me the most money, unless it's like Pittsburgh or San Francisco or, you're not going to go to some shit team. Look, Mike Trout still staying in Anaheim, and can you blame him? He's in Southern California. The Angels are terrible, but you don't hear Mike Trout wanting to leave. Can you blame him? Where do you want to go to? New York, Philly, in the shit Northeast weather? No. And then you get the Dodgers who are winning, and you get to go to Southern California. Now, California is a shit state. The politics and the way that state has just turned to trash is a whole other topic that we're not going to get into on here. But weather-wise, it's great. Taxes and everything else, not so much. But again, it's these people saying that the Dodgers and these big spenders, I guess the Yankees, they're ruining baseball. They're not. These owners don't want to pay, and it's a business. So the salary cap doesn't magically make these bad front offices smarter, right? It doesn't make cheap owners become aggressive. What it does is it limits what the players can actually make, and while the owners are protecting themselves from their own bad decisions. So again, the players lose. And look, these players have a short window, right, as far as their the time they're going to spend in the majors. If they can make as much money as possible, go ahead. Look, if you're that talented and can do it, go ahead, take the bag, because just ride the cash cow till it dies, till the wheels fall off, whatever you want to call it. But so if this turns into a lockout strike after the season, then the fans are going to get dragged into another billionaire versus millionaire labor fight that nobody asked for. So who loses? The fans, right? The fans lose. The players also lose. Nobody cares that the players losing money. But the everyday fan like you and I are the ones who lose out in this situation. And especially since baseball has been on an uptick with the changes they made. And I don't agree with all of them, but with the changes they made to improve the pace of play and you're not having marathon games like the Yankees Red Sox games in the past where you had 5-6 hour games because they were changing pitchers every fucking batter. It just got to be a mess. So the average fan is the one who loses in this. So enjoy this season while we have it, because it already feels like Major League Baseball is headed toward a nasty, nasty labor battle. And it would be even nastier if the Dodgers win 3 in a row, because that would just set things off with the spending and, saying they bought a chance. It would just be bad. So I hope the Dodgers win the whole fucking thing. We'll see. But that was talk before the season even started. This could be the last season before there is no season. I mean, there was talk before the season even started that this labor dispute would be nasty, and we might not have baseball at all next year. A complete wash out of a season. There's no hope in saving it. No World Series, no All-Star, nothing. Just completely erased next year. Which then I guess we'd have to bet on like horse racing in Russia, midget wrestling. I don't know. We'll have to find something in those summer months once NBA finals and hockey are over. If we got no baseball, we'll find something. It won't be soccer, won't be WNBA. I can fucking tell you that. We'll find something to bet on, but let's hope that that's not the case, and let's hope that baseball can figure their shit out and get this labor dispute buttoned up so we don't have a work stoppage. Because it would be bad overall. Bad, the fans are going to be the ones who lose out the most. But even Major League Baseball, I mean, look what happened when they had a work stoppage before. It took a lot to bring fans back, especially now with the economic climate of things. And I think they're going to have a difficult time if you completely lose a season. The fans are going to care if guys don't, if the season's pushed back or spring training's delayed. It's not going to matter. If we have no baseball next year, there's going to be a problem. And fans, it's hard enough for a family to go out to a baseball game as it is. And then if you have a work stoppage, they're going to somehow try to gouge the fans and have them spend more money for tickets. But hopefully it's not the case. But that's enough baseball shit for now. Let's get you into the Tommy Trend, or the Tommy Trends for today. Sticking with the baseball theme. And the baseball world is changing right in front of us. The league. So a couple trends here with Major League Baseball I thought were interesting. League-wide walk rates are sitting around 10% of all plate appearances. That's the highest we've seen since the middle of last century. It's crazy. Why, you ask? A lot of it comes down to tighter strike zones, the ABS system with the zone tracking. Umpires are now graded more closely than ever before. And the pitchers, because of the ABS system, pitchers aren't getting that same borderline calls they used to get. Hitters taking advantage of it. So you increase strike rate. Increased walk rate. And another interesting trend, sticking with MLB, is we talked about these super teams. You have these super teams like the Dodgers or the Yankees, right? But there's a lot more parity in baseball right now, more than we've seen in years. Dodgers still the best record in baseball, chasing that third straight World Series. But you got the Brewers, Braves, Yankees all near the top as well. And unlike in recent seasons, nobody at this point, which is almost at the All-Star break, nobody at this point is on pace for 100 wins. So nobody's really running away with it. So the gap between the contenders and the pretenders, that's shrinking, which means, every night we're getting tighter games, more live underdogs, more opportunities for degenerate bettors like myself, willing to dig a little bit and dig deeper for more opportunities, because you're getting better competition, closer games, a little bit more parity across the sport. So those are some of your Tommy trends for today. Sticking with the MLB theme here. Let's keep it rolling. We'll move right along to Bark Bets, and before we get to the Bark Bet of the day, which is our best play of the day, the play we like the best. We partner, like we said, with Freedom First Rescue. Every week we feature a pup up for adoption and try to help get that pup a forever home. And then as a bonus sprinkle, we give you our best play, or what we think is the best play of the day. And before we get to the bet, though, the star of the show is the pup who's up for adoption from Freedom First Rescue. And this week's pup who's up for adoption from Freedom First Rescue is Tracker. And that's the pup that we're backing this week in Bark Bets. And Tracker is a 3-month-old lab hound mix who's basically the captain of the Paw Patrol crew, looking for his forever team. This little guy here, he's adventurous, fearless, loves everybody, and never turns down an opportunity to join the action. Kids, loves them. Other dogs, loves them. Cats, no problem with proper introductions. Right now, he's putting in the work on the practice field, learning puppy fundamentals like potty training, crate training, and he's figuring out that not every shoe belongs in his mouth. Tracker is active, playful, and the type of teammate who will stick by your side from kickoff to final whistle. He's looking for a family willing to continue his training and help him reach his full potential. And in return, what do you get? You'll get nonstop entertainment, unlimited puppy kisses, a 4-legged best friend who never misses a game. And if you're interested in adopting Tracker or any of the other amazing dogs available through Freedom First Rescue, go to their website, freedomfirstrescue.com. Check out their Facebook page, facebook.com/freedomfirstrescue. And they'll post their community events and pup meet and greets. And their community event calendar is absolutely loaded. And also, if you go to their website, freedomfirstrescue.com, you can fill out the adoption application right on their website. So check them out, freedomfirstrescue.com. Let's get one of these pups a forever home that they deserve. And Tracker, he's the pup we're backing this week with Freedom First Rescue. Remember, adopt, don't shop. And now we'll sprinkle in the Bark Bet, the play we like the best for today. And look, hopefully the main objective here is to get Tracker his forever home and maybe cash a bet or two while we're at it. But Tracker is the star of the show. So today's bet, and I said earlier, we talked about the Cardinals game against the Marlins. Today's Bark Bet is the Marlins money line against the Cardinals tonight. And there's an argument to take the Cardinals early. I get it, and that's why I threw it out there. If you're a Cards fan or if you like playing that first 5. But if you look at it, Miami comes in red hot. They won 15 of their last 20 games, 7 of their last 10. But the bigger story here is the pitching matchup. Now I have to take a fucking drink because that was a lot of fucking talking. But Max Meyer has been rock solid. He's been outstanding all season long. 8-0, 2.80 ERA. Ranks among the top starting pitchers in baseball. And, it's just a complete mismatch when you look at the other side, who the Cardinals have in the bump tonight. Mike McGreevy. Now, looks like the perfect regression candidate here. His ERA is respectable at 3.35. However, the underlying numbers are a different story when you peel a couple layers back on that onion and take a look at it. His expected ERA sits at 5.70. Strikeout rate is under 16%. And he's been surviving on unsustainability, high strand rate here. Now, again, this is where, that taking Cardinals first 5 might be an option for you, but he's been decent at home. McGreevy has a 2.25 home ERA across 7 contests here. But other than that, it's a complete mismatch on the hill with these guys between Max Meyer and Michael McGreevy. Now, these teams faced off earlier this season. Meyer got the better of McGreevy. Marlins won that one. And if you add in the Marlins bullpen that ranks among one of the better units in baseball, Cardinals sitting near the bottom of the league in expected ERA. Miami has the edge from first pitch to final out here. We're riding the hot team, the better starter, better bullpen. Give us Miami Marlins money line. We got a plus 100 as the bark bet. And that's the bark bet for this week. But again, the star of the show here, Bark Bets, is Tracker. He's the pup we're backing this week from Freedom First Rescue. So the bark bet, Miami Marlins money line plus 100 tonight against the Cardinals on the road dog. And now it's time for the award that nobody wants at all. It's time for the Clown of the Week award. And this is the biggest blunder, train wreck, bad decision, whatever you want to call it. And we're always up for nominations. So if you have a nomination, hit us up at OTH Sports Pod on X, here on YouTube. Send us a message and say, hey, this person's a complete dipshit and they should get Clown of the Week. And now you've probably seen this person's face all over news past week or so. And deservedly so, because this person is a complete dipshit, and no more fitting person to win this award. And this is a doozy. So without further ado, this week's Clown of the Week is none other than Angie Baez. Oh boy, Angie Baez. Now, you've probably seen the video. I don't have the video clip. You just go Google Angie Baez. But let me tell you about Angie Baez. Apparently attended Knicks championship parade, saw the limited edition Knicks trash can, the blue and orange trash can the city had there. Thought, you know what? That would look great at my place. One problem. It was full of trash, and this fucking moron just dumped the entire contents right onto the sidewalk, picked up the trash can, and then walked away with it, and then rode on the subway with it. This picture here is from her on the subway with the can, as somebody took her picture, and she's smiling and posing with the can. As if New York could get any dirtier, she dumps more trash on the New York streets. This is not a joke. This is not a parody. This is not any AI. It is Google Angie Baez. The real kicker here is Angie Baez was, I believe, an executive director at J.P. Morgan Chase. So it's estimated that her salary was anywhere between $250,000 or $350,000 a year. Some type of bullshit woke title, DEI hire bullshit. But nonetheless, she was an executive director at J.P. Morgan, who is now on the unemployment line because she decided she wanted a blue and orange Knicks New York City trash can in her house to commemorate the Knicks winning the NBA championship. What a complete buffoon. This nitwit, again, just dumped city trash on the city street, making New York dirtier than it could possibly be. Stole the trash can. I mean, you've probably seen the video. It's gone viral. Lost her job, all for like, I don't know how much a trash can is. It's probably, I don't know, $100, $200 for a trash can. I mean, I've seen people steal foul balls from kids, game used bats, rally towels, promotional giveaways, stadium seats. Never seen anyone steal a fucking trash can. A trash can. It's mind blowing what is going. That's just Hall of Fame clown behavior from Angie Baez. Knicks win a championship, first time in 53 years, and this dumbass commemorates that by committing grand theft garbage and stealing a trash can off the New York City streets. Congratulations, Angie Baez. You are officially the Off the Hook Sports Clown of the Week. Boy. And now, after that debacle and that mess with Clown of the Week, we are officially going to go off the rails from stealing trash cans and a championship parade to whatever insanity we found on the internet this week. And believe it or not, Angie Baez stealing a trash can was probably not the most insane thing, although it was up there. But we're going to finish things the only way we know how here on Feel Good Fridays. We're going to wrap things up with Off the Rails. This is a segment where sports, the internet, gambling, Twitter, and complete chaos all collide. Now, sometimes it's hilarious. Sometimes it's insane. Sometimes it's actually wholesome. Sometimes. But we'll just go off the rails and see what the internet has cooked up for us here this week. As Off the Hook goes off the rails this week, and let's see. First up, oh boy! First up, here we go. This is in Miami, I believe. Yes, Miami. A massive brawl broke out while people were boarding a Carnival cruise. Now think about this for a second. You saved money, packed your bags, took time off work, got to the port, and before the ship even leaves the dock, throwing haymakers. Holy cow. Vacation hasn't started. You haven't seen the pool. You haven't hit the buffet. You haven't had the first watered-down margarita. Somehow we're already at WrestleMania. Nothing says relaxing Caribbean getaway like right hook at the boarding gate. Carnival cruise. Good Lord. All right. Enough of that. Good Lord. We're still going at it. All right. Next up. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Starbucks Reserve Card. Anybody have this?
You have a Starbucks
So
addiction?
Starbucks now has this fancy
addiction.
metal rewards card. Now, you don't need to hear the fucking
Starbucks,
audio because she's just
$2
babbling.
Open
I'll
it.
give you the gist of it. So fancy metal rewards card from Starbucks. Sounds great, right? Well, to qualify, you need roughly 2,500 stars, which works out to be about $1,500 a year on Starbucks coffee. Let me get this straight. You spend enough money to buy a decent used golf club set, and your reward is the opportunity to tell people you spend too much money at Starbucks.
It has my name on it.
Holy cow. Starbucks Reserve Card.
All right, I don't think people understand how much of a scam
that's a fantastic deal.
Metal card.
Somebody in that marketing department deserves a raise. Let me tell you. That's just
in the Starbucks Rewards
mind-blowing.
program. So let's just take a look
All
at
right,
what that actually means.
enough of Starbucks. Let's see
biggest
what's on
benefit
tap
is
next
earn
here.
1.7 stars
Oh,
per
yeah.
$1 spent.
Oh, boy.
So to get this tier, you need to spend
Speaking of people who refuse to slow down,
you don't just earn it once and
Rod
keep it forever.
Stewart
You have to keep
needed
this
oxygen
status
during a
on
recent
rolling
concert.
12
Can you
months.
imagine paying,
Spending
I don't know,
money.
Rod Stewart's probably charging
Again,
a couple $100
this
for
is
like the
biggest
cheapest
benefit.
seats
You
at a
earn
concert.
1.7
81-year-old
stars
Rod
per $1
Stewart
spent.
still
Here is
performing
where it
in
gets
front of packed
fun.
crowds. I'm sure this is sold out.
Before they started this new program,
And meanwhile,
they spent
half of
all
us
this
woke up
money
sore
to
because we
benefit.
slept the wrong
Everyone
way or
used
slept
to get
sideways
2
or
stars
whatever.
for $1.
At some point,
So there
I
was
mean, you stop
no
questioning it and just
status,
respect
there
the
was no
grind. But
spending
Rod Stewart basically
$1,500
running
a
on
year.
pure willpower at this
Everyone
point.
just got 2 stars
Eating a
for
blow,
$1.
getting some
But
oxygen.
now you have to spend $1,500 and
God.
you get 1.7
And people
stars
pay
for
for this.
$1. This is
My God.
corporate greed.
I've never seen Mick Jagger
Ridiculous.
take a puff of oxygen. Fucking Rod Stewart. Hitting that oxygen. And that's enough of that. All right. Oh, boy. Wendy's. Who still eats this shit? I don't understand. Anyway, move on to Wendy's here. This is, again, I don't understand who still eats this shit, but nonetheless, this will make you never want to eat it again. Well, maybe not, though. But 3 Wendy's employees in South Carolina were accused of serving food from the trash and then allegedly spitting in it before giving it back to the customer. I don't even have a punchline for that. This is just, I mean, ignorance sometimes truly is bliss here. And if you're eating that shit, just stop eating it. What are you doing? Now, this one, we're going to need the audio for, and hopefully the audio plays. Congressional hearing on Coca-Cola. So there was a congressional hearing, I think this was last week, where someone basically asked if Coca-Cola was nutritious and whether it belongs on SNAP benefits. So I'm hoping, that this audio
This guy,
works
looks like an
here.
upstanding
And if it doesn't
citizen.
work, well,
His name
then we might be
is
fucked. But let me see if
something.
the audio is going to work
And
here.
then we have
Let's
this
see.
woman,
Does SNAP stand for?
Adela.
Yeah, no fucking audio.
So these
That's a
three
fucking
are the
shame.
ones who
What
just
the
throw
fuck?
customers'
Let
food
me
in
try it.
trash, take it out of the trash,
Let's see.
spit on it, and then give it to them. All for the crime
This was a
of
fucking good
them
one, too.
messing up the order.
Does SNAP stand for?
Well, in a nutshell, Congressman asked this
What's
dipshit
nutritional?
if Coca-Cola was nutritious. Now, she didn't want to give a straight answer.
I am not a nutritionist.
And she said basically she's not an expert, so she needed an expert
This
to
is a
weigh
common
in
sense question.
if
All of
Coca-Cola
these
was
are common
nutritious.
sense
Now, we've seen
questions.
videos of
Just asking
Coca-Cola
you, is there
taking
nutritional
paint off
value to
cars and
sugary
fucking
sodas?
people using it to clean like toilets out because it just eats shit away.
Yes or no question.
She couldn't give a straight answer. Look, I'm not saying Coke should
I
be
am not an
banned.
expert. I would have to look at the
I'm not
dietary
saying
guidelines.
people
I'm not an
shouldn't buy it.
expert.
But
I
if
don't
we're
think
bringing
there's
in
nutritional
experts to
value
determine
to
whether a
sodas.
can
I
of
think
liquid
most people
sugar
in
is
this room
healthy,
would agree
we've
with that
officially reached
assessment.
peak
Does
government
SNAP stand
at this point. And what the
It's a
fuck do we need a congressional hearing for this?
What's
If
nutritional
Coca-Cola should be on
Coca-Cola?
SNAP benefits. Of course it shouldn't be on fucking SNAP benefits. It's just sugar water.
I am not
Oh,
a nutritionist.
fuck.
I am a food security
That's
expert and
tax
issue
dollars well
guidelines
spent
for
there
food
in
resources.
Congress.
This is
All
a
right,
common
now we
sense
said this
question.
sometimes
All
is
of these have been
wholesome,
common sense
so we'll get to the
questions. I'm
wholesome
just
part
asking you, is there
here
nutritional value to
of Off the
sugary
Rails.
sodas?
Now, first up, if any of
Yes
you
or no
are dog
question.
owners like myself, you'll know all about the
I
cheese
am not an
tax.
expert. I would have to look at the dietary
And
guidelines.
this guy here,
I don't think that there's
if this
nutritional
plays,
value to sugary
come on.
sodas. I think most people in this room would
I mean, look at this.
assess- does SNAP stand for?
So we got the cheese tax here. Like I said, if you're on a dog,
What's nutrition?
you already know this routine. You already know this law. You open the cheese, the dog appears. You pay the cheese, no negotiations, no appeals process. The tax must be paid.
This is a common sense question. All of these have
No
been
questions
common sense
asked.
questions. I'm just asking you, is
Love
there
it.
nutritional value to sugary
We'll
sodas?
stick with the pup theme. This is the wholesome segment of Off the Rails. Here is Reggie, and Reggie wants to show everybody how he eats a watermelon. Look at this guy.
I'm not an expert.
Cute little guy.
I don't
Eating
think
a watermelon.
there's nutritional value to sugary sodas. I think
Does he
most
eat
people
it?
in this room would agree with
As
that
he
assessment.
should.
Does SNAP stand for?
Is a supplement to nutrition.
There we go. Take it, buddy.
Nutritional.
Aggressive, no manners, no hesitation. I mean,
I am not a nutritionist. I am a food
you know,
security
I
expert.
don't know if he's really aggressive. It's kind of calm, but he's got a routine here. He didn't just grab it. He just took charge of it, didn't hesitate, and
Sugary sodas.
he actually eats better than some kids and some humans. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes or no question?
That's pure commitment from that guy. And honestly, that's the kind of effort and respect that we need around here.
An expert.
And one more before we get out of here. If you haven't seen this, this is the mystery dog that the Miami Marlins were searching for that went viral after watching another pup enjoy a hot dog during a ball game the other night. And the team posted a wanted flyer and was looking for the pooch who was sitting there who
This is a
looked...
common sense question.
I mean, that's the complete... you feel bad for the dog sitting there wanting a hot dog. They had a little fun with it and put out a wanted flyer for the dog. I mean, this is really the best story of the week. I mean, this whole thing went viral after the cameras caught him looking. I mean, you got to respect it. He had manners, didn't go try to take it, and just watch another pup enjoy the hot dog. Pure heartbreak when you look at the dog there on the video. And internet immediately adopted this dog. And Marlins put out a search party for the dog. Only in America can a random dog become a celebrity because they look disappointed at a baseball game. Yeah, honestly, good for him. And a bit of good news, and this is why dogs are better than people, by the way. A bit of good news here. The dog has been found, right? So they found the viral pup who wanted the hot dog, and his name is Jonah, and he is indeed a good boy. So look at that. I'm sure he got a bunch of hot dogs too when they found Jonah there. Love it.
What's nutrition?
And that concludes Off the Rails. That's the wholesome segment for the show. I mean, Who doesn't love dogs? If you don't love dogs, well, I feel bad for you because dogs are way better than people. We say it all the time. That is a wrap for tonight. Went through a lot. We covered Scheffler absolutely torching TPC River Highlands with a 60. A 60. Good grief. I can't even get close to a 60. Holy shit. But went through Scottie Scheffler firing off a 60. Got you the latest MLB headlines. Got you caught up there. The best betting spots for tonight. Gave you the Tommy trends of the day. Gave you the Bark bets and Pup Up for Adoption from Freedom First Rescue's tracker. Check them out, freedomfirstrescue.com. Angie Baez, Off the Hook Sports Clown of the Week. And, of course, went off the rails. Kept it wholesome for a little bit of it. Hey, listen, if you enjoyed the show, do us a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on X and YouTube here at OTH Sports Pod. Every follow, every share, every comment helps us continue to grow this thing the right way. And as always, show is powered by Pikkit. Download Pikkit, Google Play Store, App Store. Use code OTH. Keep all your bets and friends in one place with Pikkit. And we'll be back here tomorrow morning-ish, maybe late morning. We'll keep you posted on a time on X at OTH Sports Pod, and let you know what time we're back here tomorrow. But we'll have Travelers Championship Moving Day coverage, live leaderboard updates from Cromwell at the Travelers Championship. Best bets, if you're looking to do some live golf betting, we'll get you the live best bets from our perspective, MLB best bets and any MLB news that drops, and whatever other sports chaos decides happen in the next 24 to 36 hours, we'll bring it to you. We'll be posting it on X at OTH Sports Pod, so make sure to follow us there. And looks like it's walkie time for Mookie and Nash. Patiently waiting again by the door. They know when I'm done, and they know when it's time for a walk. So walkie time it is for them, and thanks for hanging with us tonight. Enjoy the games. Let's cash some of these tickets. We'll see you all tomorrow. And listen, remember, the books don't give refunds. Got to do your homework, got to shop your lines, and never stop looking for an edge. I'm Tommy Trends, Mookie Nash waiting for the walk. We'll see you tomorrow. This is Off the Hook Sports Talk. That pays off. We're gone.